Hi, can you guys hear me? Because this is the last time I'm going to try this. Can you hear me? Uh, okay, if you're here, let me know if you can hear me, please. Oh my God. Is it clear? Oh, thank God. Oh my God. I have suffered. Wow. Oh, okay. 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 So I figured out what the problem was. Man. Hi, Abisola. Hi, Jane. Hi, everybody. So sorry. So sorry. It was just a mess. A mess. Figured out what the problem was. So everybody that left me, are people going to come back? Hi, good evening. Hi, good evening, Ogum. Hi, Ada. Is it clear? Can you hear me loud and clear? Is it crisp? Thank you. Anyway, it's not still late, it's like past 6. Oh, thank you. I figured out what the problem was. It's such a mess. Like, I hate this tech age. Just one small thing like this, one small box that I mistakenly clicked on. That's what messed everything up. Okay, thank you guys for coming back. And I'm sure some people are here, that weren't here before that have joined us now. Yeah, the tech age is difficult. It's tough. So I don't know if I should just go straight into the Instagram questions, or should we just still wait a bit for people to come on? Some people have even sent me messages. Oh, thank you. Nice audio. Yes. Oh my God. Okay, should I just go straight into the questions that was the things I was talking about before this live went off? At this point, I just feel like I've just been thrown off balance. Okay, what I'm talking about is you guys can drop me, comments, questions, anything you want us to talk about, anything at all. Anything, but I'll also be, tackling the questions that I got here. Also, if you guys want to talk about BB Nigeria reunion, who is watching the reunion? Because I've been watching every single day. It's been hot, but okay. Let me get to the questions I have here. So I was talking about initially before the live went off. I was talking about coping with. Thank you, Octavia. Thank you. I was talking about coping with YouTube frustration. I think I have. Okay, I've passed that. So we talked about balancing marriage. Okay, sorry, let me. So I was talking about someone asked about balancing marriage when the woman doesn't earn an income, and I think I talked about that as well. Someone said, please talk about how we can run from this UAR. Whoever asked me that question, all of us are trying to run. Not all of us will. Some of us are trying to run. So until we run, when I run first, then I will let people know how I ran with my whole battalion. But till then, we're still here. We're still here. Um, I don't know. Should I go on, or should we just let people come in? I don't know at this point because I've come on live like 3 times and it's become annoying. So let me know, what do you guys think? Okay, I should go on. Okay. So someone asked, oh, thank you, Darren. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe they said third time is a charm. So this is my third time coming live today. Okay, someone said, can you please talk about side chick Wahala, making reference to the ongoing Usifo and Chidinma saga? To be honest, like what do we really want to say about side chicks other than everybody should stay with their partners that they choose? Everybody should stay with the partners that they chose. Like, what is all this? I'm all about, if you cannot be faithful to one person, then end the relationship. There's no point. Nobody's forcing anybody. Life is already too hard as it is. If you can't stay with one person, then don't get into relationships, don't get committed. And even if you decided to get committed and you want out, then get out. Like, just step out, tell the person, I'm done and I'm done. And then you walk away and do whatever it is that you want to do. So there's really nothing more to talk about with the whole side chick Wahala. But I mean, it's like someone said, when when this whole the man that was killed came up, someone was saying, men will stain your white. I mean, let's change that thing from men will stain your white to men will stain their own white, because any man that's going to step out of his marriage and then is unfaithful and does trash, he's staining his own white. He's disgracing himself, not his wife, not his family members. The disgrace is upon his head. So let's stop with the men will stain your white, men will disgrace you, men will no, no. Men are disgracing themselves, not the woman involved, unfortunately, or fortunately rather. So yeah, about the whole side chick thing, keep your penis in your pants. Stay with your partner. Work things out with them. If you can't work things out, then just work out. That's just it. Just work out. Um, okay, so yeah, throw me questions. Throw me questions. I'm here. Exactly. The double standard has to end. Thank you, Octavia. The double standard really has to end. Um, I feel like some people might be a bit confused with the numerous lives that I've had. Maybe I should just like delete the last one. I don't know if the last one is still showing up. I'm not sure. Um, so someone said, I would love if you could start talking about. I would love if you could talk about starting to live with a man. Um, what do you think about this BBN reunion? Which one should I attack first? BBN reunion. I mean, the it's dramatic, of course. It's really dramatic. And we're hearing that it was staged and all of that. I mean, now we're hearing about people that we did not know were sleeping with each other, the ones that had slept with each other in the house, the ones that did not. It's just dramatic, and I'm enjoying the drama. To be honest, I'm enjoying the drama. I think Erica is supposed to be on today's own. So let's see how that goes. But it's quite dramatic, and I think Dora is becoming very annoying. She was really annoying in like the initial episodes. She was quite annoying. So someone said, I would love if you talk about starting to live with a man. If I mean, is there anything to talk about when it comes to living with a man? If the man is your husband, I believe that's what you mean. If the man is your husband, um, there's really nothing much. You just have to find a way to cope. That's just it. The two of you have to find ways to cope. Someone like me, I don't like living with people. Until tomorrow, I do not like the fact that I live with human beings. And I live with husband and 3 children plus Monica. So a lot of times I'm just like, I really want my own space. I don't want to have to live with these people. I just want my own space. So living with people, you have to cope with. At the end of the day, it's like, if it's something that you want, then yeah, I'm back, Jesse. I'm back. Oh, I'm back. Third time. So yeah, when it comes to living with a man, I mean, like I said, you have to cope, right? Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Someone left me, someone said motherhood. I don't know what you mean by motherhood. If you want me to talk about motherhood, what exactly am I going to talk about? Am I seriously considering living in Nigeria? You putting is a joke. Hey, Kimiki. Well, there's no, I don't want to make my plans known anyway, but just know that yes, I am serious about living in Nigeria. I'm really serious. Let me call it Nigeria, like Laura Ikeji will say, Nigeria. How do you balance motherhood and work? Have you people not heard that there's no balance? You don't get a balance. There's no balance. If you're doing something, something else is suffering. You know, something else is suffering. There's no balance. I mean, there are times that you have to leave your children to go to work. How are you balancing it? If you're staying home, if you decide that you don't want to work and you want to stay at home to take care of your children, of course that would mean that you're not able to earn. And even if you're getting some kind of monthly stipend or whatever from your partner or whatever, it still means that you're not able to earn your own money. So you don't have as much control as you would have had. So at the end of the day, there's no balance. Something always has to give. Times when we are, working, maybe we're editing or we're doing something, that means you probably will go to bed that night and you might not be able to do anything in the night. And then your partner is expecting that of you, but because you have worked your ass off and you are tired, then you can't have sex, or you can't wake up early enough, to go to the gym, or you can't wake up early enough to get your children to school on time. So, at the end of the day, something always has to give. You just need to figure out which one you are ready to let have his way at that point in time. So that's just it. If I could move out of Nigeria, will you do it? I'm surprised that people are still asking me this question. I thought I posted it on my forehead that living in Nigeria is a goal, as it's an actual goal. Someone said come to Canada. I mean, I feel that family, that's mostly where everybody's looking at. Even though I would really, really love to live in Europe, in any country. Well, I have a lot of countries I would love to live in Europe, but we're talking about, migrating for family. Canada is always the number one country, so yeah, Canada. Thank you, Derry. Thank you so much. So I was born in Ibadan, but I live in New York City now. New York, yeah, I would like to visit New York one day, by the grace of God. Someone said, I'm raising please, Canada is the best for family. Yeah, yeah, like everybody has said. So I guess maybe from Canada, then I can now go to the European countries that have been on my wish list. Countries that for yeah, I've said it before that UK. I've never thought of moving to the UK. I have family in the UK, but relocating there has never been on my list. In fact, visiting the UK has never been something I've thought of in my life. Never, never thought of it. Um, High price. So someone said, raising female children. You versus your husband. Have you ever had difficult conversations, and how did it go? I think we haven't had we've not had like difficult coverage. Someone says hope Australia is not on my list. What's wrong with Australia? Because I know someone that moved to Australia not too long ago. Although I think she moved from the UK or so. What's wrong with Australia? Please let me know. It's not bad. I think it was second option at some point because I even joined a group where they were talking about migrating to Australia, and it was just so complicated. So I left the group. So Australia has definitely come up, but it's not been consistent. Like it was just that one time. So what's wrong with Australia? Oh, Austria. Oh, Austria. Okay, Austria. Okay, no, 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 no. Never thought of Austria actually. So when it comes to difficult conversations, we've not had any pressing issue that would say we needed to sit down and have conversations about. But I think once in a while, I just throw out questions like, okay, like if the girls maybe have a boy issue, how will we address this kind of thing? And it's difficult, like I've said before, trying to unlearn the things that we learned, or the things that we know, or how we were raised. Is a bit difficult. So I know that way back as a child, I wouldn't have boy discussions with my mom. but it's something that I want my children to talk about with me. So not just when they are deep head, neck deep into the boy issue. I want, as the process is going on, when they are feeling things that they're feeling because they are maturing, or because, puberty has set in, I want them to be able to talk to me about, the changes that their body is experiencing, and, all of that. I think that when they start from like the basics, the foundation, then it's easy for them to, talk to you about other things. So yeah, those are the kind of conversations we've had. And it's funny because even though my girls haven't gotten to that teenage stage where we're experiencing things that teenagers would normally do, Monica is in my house, and Monica is, about that age. So we have seen cases where, well, we've had experiences where, she's had issues, or she's had things, with boys. And then I've stepped in as a millennial parent. So it's not a case of, you just dismissing and say, oh no, don't do that, oh no, don't talk to boys, oh no, don't do that. I feel like there are always better ways to approach those kind of issues, so that you don't make it look like it's abnormal to them. You make them understand that it is normal, but then there are ways to go about it. I think that's the number one thing that a lot of parents didn't do. They make you feel like, okay, when it comes to like issues about boys and relationships, there are things that shouldn't happen, they are absurd. So when children are, liking boys, or they're feeling certain way towards boys, you parents make it look like it's an abomination, and then the child is wondering like what is going on. And then, the child is trying to learn from other people. So that's the one thing that I don't want. So that foundation is important. That foundation, giving them the room to be able to talk to you as freely as possible from the onset, not when things are hot and there's fire in the building and it's like everyone want to catch fire. No, from like the onset, from the littlest things, like, just talking to boys, saying hi to those kind of things. So I just want my children to be very, open when it comes to those kind of things. So right now, we've not had, based on this person's question, we've not had any, like difficult conversations, but I'm sure we would, as time goes on, because it's life and those things must always, come up. So someone said, and you guys, as I'm talking about it, please throw in your suggestions, throw in suggestions so I can read them out. Yeah, Bella says it's important to create room for such discussions. Definitely. I definitely don't want children. I don't want my child to go through life the way I went through life, because I was very secretive. I didn't say anything to my mom. I didn't tell my mom anything, nothing about boys. Everything was just in the corner, hiding, 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 So yeah. Um if your child is not comfortable speaking with you, she or he might speak to the wrong friend. Open communication is important. Hi, dear vlogs. Hi. Yeah, so I definitely don't want my children to be like me. I was very in the corner, and I made a lot of mistakes. I don't even know how my mother would have reacted if I had told her some of the things that I would have loved my children to tell me. Because another thing is, it's not even just about me trying to be open with my parents. It's about what their reaction would be. And I think way back in the day, even if a lot of children had opened up, I think the reaction of a lot of parents wouldn't have been great. So even maybe even the first time the child gets that kind of reaction, they may never come back, to that parent again. So I definitely don't want that to happen with me. Someone says, marrying a single parent, can it be peaceful and smooth? Please let's know what's wrong with marrying a single parent. I know a lot of people that are married to single parents. Someone says, how are you keeping safe in Nigeria currently? As I've heard, the criminal activity has heightened. Yes, it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now I'm in traffic and I'm looking around like a thief, because you don't know who's going to come and break glass and snatch your phone or like rob you. But I think, I don't know. God is just the one keeping us. To be honest, I don't know. But for us, we don't really go far. We are, usually within our zone, and a lot of things mostly happen. I mean, it happens during the day, but it's more prevalent. It's more we hear about it more at night. But God help us at the end of the day. Felicia said, I beg somebody help me. My daughter is 8, about to be 9, and she's developing real fast. As a mother of 3 girls, how do you cope? Because I'm in denial and scared for my baby. Okay. I mean, I get you because my daughter is 9, she's going to be 10, and she's developing real fast. At the end of the day, they are going to develop, right? So it doesn't matter if you're scared now or if you'll be scared in 4 years, 5 years to come. Either way, they are still going to develop. I mean, you just teach her what she needs to know. Tell her what she needs to know. Don't use what they call this. Don't use slangs, or don't use hidden words for certain things, like when you're talking to them about their private. Let them know what the words are called. Okay. Just be as open with her as possible. I just think that with raising children now, because they are exposed to so much, like I said before, you always want to be that very first um person that they get information from. You want to be that very first person that they hear that thing from. We don't want them to hear from someone else. So it's very important for you to be that very first person. So just talk to her, talk to her, be as open with her as possible, so that she knows that when she wants to talk, she can come to you and talk to you freely. Hi, mommy. My mommy is here. Hi, Oda from Kenya. Just say sorry, sis, just to know, how is your new refrigerator doing? Have they come to the guy was supposed to come today, but it's been raining all day, so he didn't make it again. I don't know, and I won't be around tomorrow. So I don't know when. I don't know when we're going to fix it. So another question that someone asked was, um, any helpful advice or suggestions for a growing YouTuber still struggling with views and meeting up with the monetization requirements? Yes, grandma is here. Yeah, so DN Vlogs is giving Felicia suggestions about her daughter that is maturing really quickly. It says be open with her, get to know her more, what she likes and doesn't like. Don't be afraid to be her friend. Yeah, and another thing I also think that you should not don't make them feel like you're judging them. I think that's one thing, because once a child feels that they talk to you about something and it looks like you're trying to judge them, then they start to withhold some things from you. So that's just it. So I talk to her, I just can't accept it. Yeah, but you just have to at the end of the day, right? You don't have a choice. Be open with her, try to know what she already knows about certain things, make her your friend and judge less. Exactly. Judge when she, yeah. Don't even come from a place of judgment at all when she expresses anything to you. Because I think when children are coming to you, the very first thing is they want to know how you would accept that thing. I think, whether it's from your the way you react, maybe your facial expressions or the things that come out of your mouth. It's always, when I'm coming to tell my mommy, what is she going to say? What is going to come out of her mouth? It's going to be, is she going to accept it? Is she going to push me away? So I think when the first thing is judgment, when they just sense that judgment, it's like almost telling them not to come back again. So I think we can try very hard to keep the judgment aside and just trash out the issues with them. So Gladys asked me about helpful advice or suggestions for a growing YouTuber that's struggling with views and meeting up with monetization requirements. I already said this before. Watch other channels. There are videos that you can do. Quality, of course, is important. Because even though people will tell you that you can film from your phone, at least your phone quality should be something good enough that people would want to watch and enjoy. Because I mean, if I click on a video and the video is blurry, I might not want to go further with that, to watch that content, just because the quality already is putting me off. So I mean, quality should be reasonable at least. It mustn't be 4K, it mustn't be an expensive camera, but this quality should be, you know, quite okay. That you can at least stand with some other channels and say, okay, my quality is good. And then watch other channels, figure out what people are doing, videos that are doing well, and how you can include them in the content that you're creating at that point in time. And then she says, I've been wondering why you don't collaborate that often with smaller YouTubers. I'm guessing I can't find the other part of it, but okay, collaborating with smaller YouTubers. First of all, am I a big YouTuber? Let me ask you that question. I'm not a big YouTuber myself. And when it comes to collaborating, I know that people are busy. Okay, People are busy. To be very honest, I'm not one of those people. I don't have content block. I hardly have content block. I have content that I want to film that I don't have time to film, and or I'm lazy to film, or I feel that I won't film those videos. There are videos I want to film that I just feel like I'm not a big YouTuber. Obiko, I've how many 34,000 since how many years? I'm not a big YouTuber. I don't regard myself as a big YouTuber at all. But then there's content that I want to film that I won't, I feel like I won't be able to film, or I won't get the quality that I want. So I'm never like there's never a time where I'll say, oh, I'm looking for video to film, that kind of thing. So when you talk about collaborating with smaller YouTubers, it's like am I done with the things that I have to do? Yeah, Nelo, yeah, we're meeting up tomorrow actually. So am I done with like the things that I have to do before I now start looking for people to collaborate with? Like I can do it once in a while, but you know, it can't happen very often, to be honest. Okay, about Felicia's daughter, she says she's so innocent that she has no idea what's going on. She jumps and moves around with her naked self. I tell her to put clothes on. I guess the innocence is what is killing me. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it with Grace, and she's also trying. She's at that point where she's learning that you can't walk naked, and it starts from small. Maybe we should start by telling the smaller ones, because even my smaller children, Victoria and Ella, is something that we say now. Before, I'm going to be very honest, when they were, let me know when they were younger, as at last year, when my girls come back from school, they take off their uniforms in the living room, just because first of all, I didn't have someone that was helping me out at home. So because I want to just take their clothes and just throw it in the washing machine, I just let them take your clothes off in the living room. I just pack them and then they go into their room. But I stopped doing that because I realized that first of all, the living room is the first place that anybody steps into. If we have visitors, they step in there. And because I wanted them to be very self-aware, I just told them you can't take your clothes off, so that they know that this living room is like a public area. So you can't take your clothes off here. You have to go into your room and take your clothes off. Why? Because you don't want anybody to walk in on you naked. That kind of thing. So maybe when we start with our smaller children, letting them know that it's not okay to, walk around naked. Then as they grow older, they are a lot more conscious, about doing that. Gadi says, I get that Sha has plenty content and no time to collaborate with others. Exactly, with others, not even small YouTubers. With others, not even small YouTubers. Because I mean, first of all, how many times do I leave my house? I'm in my house trying to, you know, figure out how to grow in my channel and grow my brand. So yes, like you said, it's not really just about small YouTubers. Um, okay, someone said, okay, someone left me. I mean, a lot of the questions here were not very direct. Someone said talk about relationships or marriage. I don't know what I can say about relationships and marriage. Okay, so someone left me a question. The question was quite long. She said, okay, so okay, no, let me answer this. Someone said, how do you juggle work and sex? Or do you have a specific time for sex or agreement on when to have sex? So I want you guys to please throw in your responses. You're welcome, Gladys. So please throw this in, because I'm not the only mother that is working and whose partner wants to have sex or who wants to have sex. So please throw in your suggestions. Let's talk about it. How do you schedule sex as a working mom, a working wife, whether you work from home or you work out of the home? Do you schedule sex? So for me, let me read this. How do you job work? Okay. So for me, I feel thank you, Felicia. Thank you so much. Thank you, Natural Inyota. Thank you. So for me, I would say when it comes to sex, it's this journey it's been a very long journey. Okay. um because I would say that there have been years that we have struggled with finding a reasonable balance, if that makes sense. So it's a case where one person is tired, the other person is not tired, and then the other person gets offended that you can't make out that kind of time. And then sometimes my husband is like, oh, I think that your work is much more important than me, Or there are cases where he would say things like, okay, you can stay up all night and you can edit your videos all night, but then if I tell you, let us just do this for a couple of minutes, you're telling me you're so busy. So we used to have a lot of misunderstandings. And if you've been watching my videos, you will see that anytime we talk about, oh, what's the one thing that makes you guys quarrel the most, I always say sex, because it has to be like the major thing that we used to quarrel the most about. But I think over time, when you guys, you know how they say, if you have an issue, tackle the issue and not, don't fight with your partner. Like, focus on the problem and not your partner, because the problem is made for the both of you to sort out, and not for the both of you to fight yourselves over. So over time, we've figured out ways around it, when it's like, okay, I mean, obviously I have done this today, and I expect you to know that I have done all of this today. So if it's not going to be able to work, that means it's not going to be able to work. And I think at the end of the day, even if you don't want it as a woman, you get to a point where you kind of have to be understanding and understand that, okay, I mean, I posted this guy for this long, so I'm just going to have to give in tomorrow or give in the day after, and then with how long we've been married, and then with everybody being busy, I would say that yes, scheduling also comes in once in a while. We also schedule, so it's like, okay, we can wake up in the morning and just say, okay, this night, what are we doing? We're like, okay, and then you see us actively trying to get the children to bed early. So we're working on it together. So the girls, have dinner early, and then my husband is singing song. Oh, Monica, go and bath them. They need to bath. So when when he's shouting like that, you already know that he's still thinking about it. So we're just putting things in place, trying to make sure that we've laid, set the atmosphere so that things go on early. We can all go to bed and everybody's happy and all of that. So if I have work to do, I would of course put off work, because I'm trying to be very intentional about making, meeting up with whatever we said we were going to do. So, we get the children to bed early, and then, that works. So in that case, you will say that it's scheduled, but then that's how it works. Joy said, with marriage and relationships, you have to be intentional. And then when it comes to sex, you need a kind of routine. With me and hobby, we make sure to have sex at least 3 times a week. Yeah. And I remember how someone said, I watched a video on Instagram where the couple sat down, and then they were talking about how they were like doing, what would you call, what you are doing when you're trying to balance accounts. So they're talking about what their sex has been like over the past couple of years. How often do you think we need to make improvements? And then the wife said something about they have more sex than they have date nights. So, and I think for women, I don't know if that's what I think, or you guys should let me know. I think for women, there's this thing about us, not just, I think we always want the foreplay, and foreplay is not just like physical intimacy. It also has to do with the mind, if it's whether it's date nights, or whether it's nice text messages, or just like sweet words, or just something that kind of pushes your brain into gear, so you know that, okay, this could come up. So the woman was complaining about them having lesser date nights and a lot more sex, and she didn't like it that way. So they needed to kind of fix things. So like Joyce said, um you have to be very intentional, and you have to have some kind of a routine to make things work. Glad the sex in marriage for me has to do with the two parties understanding, yeah, and coming to an agreement with what works for them. Communication plays a vital role in helping you guys come to a reasonable agreement. Definitely. Definitely. Hi, Turkey Headquarter. Hi, Cheesy. Thank you guys for joining me. My third time going live today. So sad. So yeah, communication is very important. Just like Gladys mentioned, there always has to be some sort of discussion, and a way that you guys can come to a reasonable, at least reasonable conclusion. Reasonable conclusion. Royal Queen said people should thumbs up the video. Thumbs it up, please. Don't forget. Thank you. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Or if you have any, suggestions about what I just talked about, how do you? Because I mean, only two people have talked about how they kind of try to make things work when it comes to sex in marriage and all of that. So you guys should let me know. Sort it out, and especially when it comes to things where, in a case where libidos are different, maybe the man has a higher libido than the woman. How does that work? Women deal with, hormonal issues, especially when you have children, even when you don't have children, with your menstrual cycle. A lot of things can just mess you up. So how are you able to deal with things like that in your marriage or like in your relationship? And how often, like I think I've heard a lot of 3 times a week. When people say how often should couples have sex in a week? Thank you, Joy. A lot of people say 3 times a week, but then I see here some people say once in 2 weeks. Some people say once a week, once in a month. What do you guys think? Communication and understanding. Understanding is is definitely very important. Because I think that's like a major thing for us. Menopause causes issues too, which men don't understand. Right. Um, I don't know. Maybe there should maybe there should also be, I feel maybe there should be, apart from like have, I don't know, I never went for marriage classes, like those classes you go for before you get married. I think that there should also be some sort of medical classes where they teach men about women's bodies, because I think a lot of men have no idea, you know, when it comes to a woman's body. Because someone just mentioned menopause causes a lot of issues which men don't understand. And I was watching a video a few days ago where they were talking to men about sex, and a lot of them were like, even the ones that feel that they know so much, a lot of them were so confused when it comes to a woman's body. They don't know what part is what part. They don't know certain women go through certain things. They don't know, like there was just a lot. It looked like men didn't know a lot. And I think a lot of men to go into marriage and not know a lot. And that could also now cause comparison. Like Gladys said, another thing is comparison. It kills sex in marriage. And even like imagine you talking to a friend, maybe your guy friend, and the guy friend is like, oh, myself and my wife we have sex like 4 times a week. And then you are like, but myself and my wife, like nothing is happening. It's so dry in this zone. Meanwhile, you don't know the kind of discussions and like the difficult conversations and the things that your friend has had to discuss with his wife, and things that he has had to do, with his wife. So those kind of things, a lot of men don't know about this. So apart from like having church classes, for marriage, we should also have medical doctors come in, maybe teach them the part of a woman's body, teach them the different things that can happen with a woman's hormones when it comes to IUDs, because we use IUDs. Women are going through menopause. There's just a lot that can cause a mess, in a woman's body. So women take the morning after pill, and that also messes with you. So men really need to be educated about all of these things. And even if they don't, they should pick up their phones and read. Hi, Ebo Nigeria Mama. I'm fine, thank you. I'm very fine. Women go through so many things, exactly. Fashion said my IUD messed me up big time. No drive to do anything and dryness. I use medication and lube. What medication did you use? What medication did you use? I'd like to know. So did you take the IUD out, or did you still just go ahead with it? Hi, Nekoda. Hi, Ebo. Nice to see you too. Yes, a lot of men don't understand what women go through, even with like the monthly, yeah, even monthly, yeah. My husband is getting to understand that after 7 years of marriage. I agree. And for my husband, so there are a lot of things that he has just figured out recently. Like they're still learning. A lot of them are really, really still learning. I was explaining to my husband a couple of days ago. We're talking about panty liners. So I was putting on a panty liner, and my husband was looking at me like, I don't understand. And I'm trying to explain to him like it's so that everywhere is fresh and dry down there. And he was looking at me like, I'm like, is it, what don't you understand in this thing I just said? It needs to be like, I mean, you know that women have discharge, right? And when you use the word discharge, I feel like when I was saying it, it looked to him like something you would say when you are sick or you have a disease. And I'm like, it's so that you can be fresh and dry, and then also so that, I mean, when you want to wash your panties, you don't have so much to do. And he was just looking at me like he was so confused, and I'm like, this 10 years of marriage, Mr. Man, 10 years. Hey, women can educate their husbands definitely, but husbands too must be open to learn. Because another thing is, I think a lot of men, I think a lot of men, when women are explaining things like that to them, the first thing that is coming to a lot of their minds is, you're trying to say that I don't know what I'm doing. And is this whole ego thing at the end of the day, when you're explaining things like that to them, it's like you are, it's the only thing that they can, I think that they can hear is, I don't know how to have sex. I don't know how to have sex. I'm not skilled enough. I don't know how to perform. I just think that that is one thing that, is ringing in their ear. So it's not just about educating them, it's also them being open and willing to learn. Someone said, when growing up, did you have a close relationship with your sister Chioma? No, I mean, Choma is far younger than I am. Choma is like maybe 9 years. I think there's like a 9 years age gap between the two of us. So there's no way we would have been close. We're not close. She was just my younger sister, you know. But she's a cute girl now. She has sense more. So your ID is still there. So you take infection. So you take medications for the dryness, or what? 'Cause you talked about dryness, and do you take medication for that? Joy says sometimes women lose interest in sex because their partners are not willing to learn their body, and some of us women are not. Yeah, some of us women are not willing to let our partners in on what we enjoy. Yeah, that's right. And I think at the end of the day, if you're not willing to let your partner know what you enjoy, then you are going to have to suffer it, right? At the end of the day, because somebody else cannot come and suffer your suffer. Someone cannot suffer your suffer. So if you're not going to tell your partner what it is that you like, then you're gonna have to take it however they give it. I'm always teaching and explaining to my husband about basically everything. The good thing about him is that he's ever ready to listen, even if he doesn't understand. I mean, I think they need to understand, because my husband does that to where he's hearing but he's not listening. So they need to listen and understand. For me, I find having kids so close in age and working full time is so hard on the body, mental state, and I feel like men don't get it. Yeah, they don't get it. They don't get it. Yeah, they really don't. Um, and I mean, I just think that women do so much. Women do just so much. But then, lucky women whose husbands are, very hands on. Lucky them. Where they don't leave certain things to do for the woman because she's a woman. I use space disco and my lubricant is wet flavored. Okay, if that works for you, then I mean, why not? But what is space disco? Is it a drug? I don't even know. Is it a drug? Nekoda says, yes, I like using panty liners. They keep the underwear pleasant and they keep you fresh. Yeah, very important. If you don't use panty liners, try them out. Um, to men, what matters most when you explain some things is, are we having sex or not? Like, so straight to the point. Are we doing the do or not? That's all I want to know. All this long story, I'm not interested. Are we doing? Lola says, to men, what matters most when we explain some things is that we okay, yeah. Okay, Victor says space disco is a pill. Oh, really? Okay. We are learning. So people have heard, oh. So if you're having problems with your IUD, dryness, etc. But it was dryness you talked about, right? No. What's the pill for again? I can't find that comment. What's the pill for again? Please let me know. Tell me what the pill is for. But once they be like na woman talk, it's the questions that I'm getting. No, it's on Amazon. It's not really, you can throw in questions now, eh? Throw in your own questions, nee. Maybe the women are the ones that throw in questions, so that's what I'm answering. Ah. Oh, it's on. The pill is on Amazon. Ah, wow. I'll need to search for it. Let me see what it looks like. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, I now get it. Okay. Space disco. Ah, wow. So this one, that space disco is like the equivalent of is it like Kayamata now? It's like Kayamata. Western Kayamata. That's what it is. Yeah. Aphrodisia. Yeah. You check it up there. No, she said it does. I don't think it helps. But she also mentioned the lubricant that she uses. So that one, I don't think it's for the dryness. Um, one of you guys should throw us questions. A lot of people that joined my life, it's like they've all disappeared. Eh? They've all disappeared. This our life is dry today. You are not throwing in questions. We're not, our conversations are not back to back. The last lives I've had, it's like it's back to back. There's no space to breathe, nothing. This one I'm breathing, sitting down, food is even digesting. What's the safest way for family planning outside getting an IUD? I'm not comfy with IUD, but I really need some family planning tips. What do you advise? I think based on my research, IUD is the best, the non-hormonal one, right? Please, you guys should let her know what's the safest way for family planning. Um, IUD, from what I've read, if you don't want to, you're not. Why are you not comfy with the IUD? I mean, for me, IUD or just knowing. Okay, someone said implants. I mean, I've heard people everybody has different issues, but I think from like when I asked this question on my Instagram, people people have suggested IUD as like the safest or the best for them. Okay, so dear vlog says if you can remember and set your alarm on the phone, you can do the pill. But doesn't the pill mess up with your hormones and all of that? Doesn't it do that? Ah, how can abstinence be the best? When you are married, you'll be abstaining. What's happen? Abstinence is not the best though. I'll just say I think maybe the IUD and then like using the is it called Billings method or just knowing your what your cycle is like. Someone said people should abstain. No, abstinence is the best. Someone said I have my twin girls. Hey, I had my twin girls when my son was just a year old, and it was one of the toughest times of my life. Jesus Christ. How old are they now? How have you been coping? Joy. How have you been coping? How did you cope during that period? And I believe you live abroad, right? How did you cope? Hi, Sissy. Good to have you here. Ah, someone's like he's practicing Jesus take the wheel. Please don't practice. Jesus will take the wheel, oh. Hmm. Hey, please don't practice Jesus take the wheel. I beg you. For us, for us, it's not okay. DM vlog says condom depends on your husband if he's okay with it. Two children under three. Oh, sorry. People that have small children and live abroad. Sissy, please, I beg. Your birth control is the blood of Jesus. Wow. Do you use it to bath or you drink it? Oh my God. Hey. What's funny? Okay, well, for us, right? For us, birth control has just been in my husband's hand, if you get what I mean. Like, it's been my husband all along. And I told him, well, as you don't want to go and do vasectomy, ah, my dear, now so you go to jump like frog. As you don't want to get a vasectomy, now so you go to jump like frog. What's my own? This is our own is blood of Jesus. Um, Sissy, don't try it, oh, hey. It's like you want Sarah to have another sister or another brother. Um, what's my take on the 21-year and millionaire mother saga? Mm. When I saw that post, the only comment I could make was I was like, I think I just wrote now, wow. I just said, oh, like, my comment was just, it was just because, I mean, I mean, I mean, I mean, um, only withdrawal method can, I'm telling you, Gladys, someone does not understand what the jump like frog means. Okay, oh. If you don't understand, it's not me that will explain. Read comments. Read the comments. Read the comments. Read the comments. So our birth control is in my husband's hand, and we've been good. I mean, for the past, Victoria is how old? Victoria is going to be 4 this month. So that's all we've been doing, to be honest. Well, a mixture of that and then using my withdrawal is not 100% sure. Well, I think for me, okay, people know that I mean I had an ectopic pregnancy, so I have just one tube. Okay, so already it's like and then like I said, I also use my cycle is very regular. I have a very, very regular cycle. So when my app says you are, I know I'm fertile. When my app says I'm ovulating on the same day, on that exact day, because I usually get pain when I'm ovulating. So when my app says I'm on my period, I'm going to be on my period that same day. So I also use my app, so I just kind of balance both of them out. So on any day that I know that it's like this jumping system did not work too well, I make sure that I get a pill or something. So since I stay here in Nigeria, and during that period of schooling, one running, oh, this was when you had your twins with your 1 year old. I had to quit school as my business was doing really well. Oh wow. So once I did the IUD and it was a very bad idea, I added weight and so on. Okay, you added weight. Oh, IUD. I think there are two IUDs now. There's the hormonal one and there's the non-hormonal one. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So I don't see any reason why the non-hormonal one will make you add weight. Um okay, withdrawal method or natural conception. That's what we're using with. Yeah, I use the Flow app too. Flow app is pretty good, honestly. It really works well. It works well with my cycle. I told you people. Someone said, I don't know if it's just me, but pulling out has been a best control for me and my husband for 4 years plus. I mean, you know, yeah. So people that said withdrawal doesn't work, I think at some point the man has to be an expert. So that's another thing. Your man has to be an expert. You know, it's effective. I mean, I'm not pregnant yet, at least. How did you decide you've had your last born? Money. Well, not just money, sha. Money plus my body can't go through it again. Nah, I can't have another baby. I wanted two babies at some point. I've mentioned it before. I wanted two babies. So, you know, it wasn't difficult to for me to decide. And I feel my husband has said this is our last born, but I still think he's on the fence about it. He's not he tells me that he's certain that we don't want any more children. But I think I think he's at that point where it's like if small breeze blows him, he just goes to the other side and is like, oh, I think I want one more. But I'm done, like final. Unfortunately, our conception is in his hand. So if he mess up, nah, their problem. I'm laughing at myself like this. What app do you use? Flow. Yeah, I use Flow. So a lot of people have mentioned Flow as well. Yeah, so the hormonal makes you add weight. That's for the IUD, and the non-hormonal doesn't, and it's the best. So if you added weight, try the non-hormonal then. Someone else has said it. Withdrawal works so well. Withdrawal is the only option in my house, and it's working for us. That's it. Exactly. Your husband has to be a very sharp calculator and unselfish as well. Yeah. Exactly. If you're serious about going abroad, three is more than enough. More than enough. Oh, because the amount of money that you're even, three children. I remember reading one someone's blog where she broke down the price of relocating to Canada, and like how much you need if you're going with one child, two children, three children. I saw our case there. I was like, hey, Jesus, God save us, so God really save us. What do you guys have to say about, okay, someone has asked, I think even when I came on live before, someone asked about this millionaire, is it millionaire, is that the story about the super TV boss and the 21-year-old girl that killed him. I mean, what else can we say other than keep your penis in your pants and stay in your house? What else? Like, this one, you went to go and meet Batty. You went to go and meet your death. The death did not come and meet you. You went to meet the death by yourself. What else? What else can we say? Just like I said in the last live, or those of you that didn't join the last live, I said when people saw the story, people were saying men will stain your white, men will disgrace you. And I said at the end of the day, men will stain their own white and men will disgrace themselves. He did not disgrace his wife, he did not disgrace his family members, he disgraced himself. And at the end of the day, he's not alive to even face the repercussion, or like to bear the shame. He's gone, he's gone. So once I had a 4-year-old boy with autism, an 11-month-old girl, and then twin new uh, wait, oh, let me read very well. I had a 4-year-old boy with autism, an 11-month-old girl, and then twin newborn baby boys back in March 2017. I went and got sterilized in October, as I wanted to make sure we didn't have any more. Wow. Being a girl mom, how are you able to keep them looking good? Because I think it's harder to raise girls. I definitely think it's harder to raise girls. Sometimes I see mommies with boys, and I'm like, what do you guys do apart from you just bat them, wear shirt and trouser, and then comb their hair, and then you're done. But with girls, it's a different ball game. I mean, I try as much as I can. I give a lot of my time, to making them look good, from their hair to their nails, to their clothes, to their underwear. It's a lot of work, but we do it. We do it. Gladys says that case is a very pitiful one for the wife and the kids, but as for the disgrace, now only him carry am. He's the only one that carried it. But people are saying that the girl probably connived with other people, but she was the only one in the room anyway, so she did the killing. Maybe in terms of like the money stealing from the man, or maybe like the initial plan, they might have the other people involved, but the killing is the coco, and it was her, like her completely. It's very sad. A 21-year-old girl. I wonder what kind of sentence they will give her, and how long she would stay in prison. And wow. The unfortunate thing was that even when the news broke, they wrote the address of the parents' house, and the address was there. I think they live in Yaba also. I just think it wasn't necessary to. How did the knife get to the room? That's the question, Abby. That's another thing. And I don't think anybody answered any question in the stupid public interview that they were. It's only in Nigeria that they will catch somebody that murdered somebody, and they will put you in the center of the road and be asking you questions. Journalists will carry them and say, how did the knife enter your hand? How did you kill him? Okay, you remove your clothes, and then you wear new clothes, and then you add your bat. So how the knife got into the room? I don't think I heard her mention anything like that. Um, yeah, it's a lot of work. Okay, 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 okay. Yes, it was an apartment. It wasn't a hotel. It was an Airbnb. So there was a kitchen there. Oh, okay. Gladys said she was a victim of circumstance. I'm just saying it. But how is she a victim of circumstance? How? How is she a victim of circumstance? Do you believe in spanking as a form of discipline? Yes, I do. I mean, spanking do arrange my children's head. So if it doesn't arrange your children's head, maybe you use another method. But smacking them definitely arranges, anything we don't on click, it will click back. Um, the interview was so poor. I mean, I've not seen her pictures on Snapchat. I've only seen that one video where she was smoking weed. That's the only video that I saw. Someone said it could be self-defense. I know she said the man got violent at some point. That was what I read that, but then or I watched it or I read it. I'm not even sure. That was it. Yeah, I don't understand. Nigerian police parade the suspects, both journalists, the public, butcher, market, anybody can just come, just stand in that crowd and just be listening to whatever it is that the person is saying. Nigeria, we have a long way to go. Okay, they were both high on drugs. Okay, I know she said they smoked loud and something else. The girl is a drug addict. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad because look at the direction that her life is going to at just 21 years old. Oh, um, it was such a shame to have questioned her without a lawyer. Do they have shame in this? And do they have shame in this country? There's no shame in this country. Spanking is acceptable, but not beating, though. I mean, if you say beating, that's like, bah, 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 no, spanking, yeah. But all of them are sharp beating at the end of the day. Yeah, we put them in level. So there's spanking, there's beating, and then what's the topmost one? What do we call that one? I think she planned it. That's why the knife was there. No, no, like someone reminded us, it was an Airbnb, so there's a kitchen, and obviously, there are like kitchen utensils and all of that. Her problem was leaving the room and going to make the withdrawal with the withdrawal. Yes, money withdrawal. I mean, yeah. I don't know how they caught her. How did they catch her? Did she go back to school? Did she go back to her house? Because if she withdrew a certain amount of money from the man's account. Why did she withdraw that money and she was found at it? Because Nigeria is not a place where you can easily find someone. Do you guys understand? Nigeria is not a place where you can easily find someone. So I really wonder how they found her. Like you killed somebody and then you withdrew the amount of money and they still caught you. Yesterday, I saw a post about the celebrity who was advertising a seminar about how to stay with a cheating husband. I mean, I didn't join the seminar, so I don't know. I just gave that banner benefit of the. I was like, you know what? Okay, maybe she had a different approach to this topic. That's just what I feel. But then we can't say until someone that attended the seminar comes to tell us what she talked about. I know that this blessing CEO, she makes sense sometimes, and sometimes she doesn't to me. So I just feel that she used that as like, a way to get people to maybe join the seminar, to either maybe people are just inquisitive or people just really want to know how to stay with cheating husbands, because I'm sure there are women that want to know how to stay with cheating husbands. So until someone that attended the seminar tells us, we won't really know. Okay, aside the fact that she stole from him and whatever else she must have done, which of course should be punished if the man did wrong to her for her age. She's 21. How did the man do wrong? Like she's a grown ass woman, 21 years. The man was a former boxer, so he's a strong man. They both took drugs. So how she managed to overpower him and kill him and even stole his money? Maybe he took more drugs than her. Maybe the drugs affected him a lot more than he did her. So that could also be it. I heard loud messes up your mind, of course. She said, "Have you had the talk with your girls? How did you do it?" I've had the talk like more in depth with Grace, not with Ella and Vicky. And I think I showed you guys in one of my videos. So firstly, when I mean I had done like surface level, the talk about her privates. I talk about periods because I mean she has come across me buying pad for myself or Monica. And then I just kind of delved into, other aspects of like sex and, their body, what is acceptable, what is not. And then I got a book. There's this doctor on Instagram, Doctor, I can't remember her name again. I think Dr. Yemi or so. She sent me two books. One of them is like a very simplified breakdown of like sex and like the private parts, and then the other one's for like older children. So I gave the older one to Monica, and then I read the other one with Grace. But once in a while I like to also kind of touch in, so it's more like I'm just checking in to like see what's up, you know anything, any questions, any new thing that you want to ask me about, or talk about. So I just like that the book was a very good tool for me to kind of add to the things I had to say. So it's not like I'm just saying. There's also like a would I call it a backup, or like just for her to see that it's something that everybody should know, or other people talk about, that kind of thing. So the book was just a helpful tool to go along with what I had told her about. There's a lot missing from this puzzle of the super TV man. Yeah, yeah, there's a lot missing. When we watch public interview now, how will we know everything? She stole the man's iPhone and her face was found on CCTV of the place they lodged. 21 is an adult, of course. She was introduced by her friend, so the friend might have known her too well. Right. Please remind your girls to never keep a secret for an adult. Nobody should tell them anything that they can't tell mommy and daddy. True. Smoking and taking hard drugs with a girl old enough to be his daughter. Besides, she's from a family with a lot of issues. Her parents are like, Gladys. The truth is that all of this has nothing to do with anything. It's that she was a grown ass woman. I mean, he could have married he could have married her. Nobody, if he wanted to marry her, let's just assume that he wasn't married. If he wanted to marry a 21-year-old girl, nobody would have stopped him. Like nobody would say, oh, because she's too young or because she's old enough to be his daughter. So she was old enough, for them to do all of those things. So do you think you ever go back to paid employment? I never worked a 9 to 5. Like I've never worked a 9 to 5, apart from holiday job or youth service. I've never worked a 9 to 5, so I don't know what it's like. And I'd always wanted to work a 9 to 5. Always, like when I was in school. Just imagine myself, wearing this nice corporate outfit. But as for children, never say never at the end of the day. Because I was telling my husband the other day, I said, even though I read geology, I'd always wanted to do environmental geology. So I'm just imagining like, okay, how about if I travel? Like I don't like to just cancel things in my mind. That's not the kind of person I want to be. So I was just like, okay, how about if eventually we relocate and maybe I decide to get a master's degree, or do something in with the course I studied, because I really like environmental geology, and I'll decide to work 9 to 5. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. So I can't really say that I'm canceling that out. So there's no excuse for killing someone. Yeah, no, yeah. I don't think anybody's saying that there's an excuse. I think that is just like, okay, the man should have tried to be morally upright, and maybe. But I mean, what happened could have happened with a 27-year-old girl, with a 30-year-old girl, with any other girl of any other age. So it wasn't really about the age. It was just, man, the girl just, man, she don't tear eye. She don't tear eye. 9 to 5 isn't bad, depending on the sector. Yeah. I just think that as a mom, once you start having children, and that's why I said it's always good at least to figure out what you want to do before you start having children. Like if you're going to, am I going to work? Am I going to start a business? If you figure that out, at least to a large extent, it will be difficult for you to kind of drop it, when you now start having children, because it's very rampant where a lot of women have jobs, and then once you start having children, and you're like, okay, let me just take 2 months break from work, 3 months break from work, and then you're not able to cope with taking care of your children. You'll probably remain in your house. You just say, I don't want to work again, and that's it, and that will be it. So I think being a stay-home mom, because I have experience what it's like to be with my children, to always be with them, to know what's going on in their lives. I don't think a 9 to 5 would really throw me off balance. Like, seriously, would really, really throw me off balance. So, people hype working for yourself. Of course. I mean, of course, it has its good and bad. Good thing about 9 to 5 is it gives structure. I just wish it was 4 versus 5 times a week. I mean, now that people have worked from home, maybe like companies should have done maybe like 2 days at work and then the rest of the 3 days you work from home. That would be nice, right? That would be nice because I feel a lot of companies should have, been should have solidified the fact that they can now work, people can actually work from home and that anything can happen and you mustn't be physically there in an office. What then do you think of being a YouTuber right now? Um, Being a YouTuber, I mean, it's tough, but I think there are those very rewarding moments. There are those jobs that would come and would really make you happy, and you feel very fulfilled because you don't exactly have to work so much and then you make a certain amount of money. So I mean, those times are there, but then for me, maybe with the way my channel is right now, I'm still in that phase where I'm kind of struggling to make a certain amount of money apart from like sponsorships during the month, where I'm kind of struggling to make a particular amount of money from AdSense. And maybe because of the number of subscribers I have, and then because of my average views. I mean, for someone like Cecil, I mean, for someone like you with the way your videos go, you have a good idea of what your channel can bring in every month. But there are some of us where it's like our views are like this today, like this tomorrow. So it's a struggle sometimes. I think for me right now, AdSense is not that great. Sponsorships are a lot sweeter, but AdSense is just there. So I'm just waiting for that day when I will be that YouTuber where I can afford to pay people to come and film the content that I want. There's a lot of content that I think of in my head that I don't do just because I feel like I won't get the quality I want. So I want to be that YouTuber where I can call someone and say, okay, I have this content idea in mind. I need you to come and do videos for me. I need you to come and take pictures of me. And I can afford to pay them, and it will not tear a hole in my pocket. So yeah, that is what I pray. That's what I pray for one day. Um, what's this question? Okay, people are now throwing in the questions now quickly. Hi, Chinyere. This is Gladys from Botswana. Hi, Gladys. Victoria, you're not late. I mean, we've been here for 1 hour, Sha. Where do you? I said the glasses is from Shop Nin. Let me check for their Instagram page. And follow me if you're not following me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at Chinyere Abang, because I've posted these glasses before. So if you don't follow me, then you will not know. Okay, so the Instagram page is shop.nin. I don't know if you guys can see it. Shop.nin. So that's where I got it from. They have a lot of really beautiful glasses, and they are blue. They have a lot of blue light glasses as well. That means I love your relationship with your mom. For a first daughter, have you always been very close, or did you struggle at some point in your teenage years growing up? First of all, my mother's still here because I know that she was on this live initially. I struggled in my teenage years with my relationship with my mom because I'd always thought that my mom was very wicked. I think we all felt that way. I'd always felt that my mom was really, really wicked. In fact, I don't think strict. I think at some point I thought she was wicked and not strict. So of course, we did struggle. But I think as it is with parenting, in most cases she was more present than my dad. So it kind of made it look like, okay, at the end of the day, if I had to rely on someone, it would eventually be her because she was more available than my dad was. But we still had that sense of, oh, this woman is wicked, that kind of thing. So yeah, so it wasn't always this way. I think, I think as they grow old, they calm down. I think it's a thing because I'm not the first person saying it. I've heard it from a lot of people. So as they grow old, they calm down. Calm down. Um, yeah. What's your favorite food? What's my favorite food? What's my favorite food? I like chicken. Anyway, I can't really say like if it's a full meal. I can't really say, but I like chicken. You guys, chicken, chicken. I like chicken, grilled, roasted. However, suya, just give me chicken. How do you help your girls distinguish between who they should trust? Because expecting the children to refer to everyone as uncle, auntie, it must be confusing for them. Um, I don't let them. Well, I mean, I used to say that I wouldn't let my children call people that are not really their aunties auntie, and call them miss or call them mister, which I still do, to be honest, to a large extent. But why I was about to say I don't, because the lady that works for me now, they call her Auntie Adi. And initially, when I thought I was going to get someone else, not the lady I have now, I told them not to call the person auntie and to call the person miss this. And I think, those titles also make them feel like, okay, this person is closer, this person is not as close, and then they feel like they can't trust someone that they call miss this or Mr. That. But I try, if it's not an uncle, I let them know, he's not your uncle, call him Mr. This. But then my children are not in contact with a lot of people. That's another thing that I have to say. They're not in contact with a lot of people. So apart from school, home, you hardly find cases where I would leave my children in someone's house, apart from my mom's house. So, I mean, I think I'm just not used to doing that because I wasn't even raised that way. So, there were no cases where my mother would drop me in someone's house or I'll be in someone's house. So it didn't really happen. So I think with my children, they're not in contact with a lot of people. You um, what I know is we're all obligated, irrespective of our background, or whatever we have experienced, to try to make the right decisions. The consequences for every action, good or bad. Sissy says my mom was like that, so hot like Atarodo when I was a teenager, and after instilling fear of the Lord and fear of Kuboko, she now became soft. Like I don't understand. My mom was Jesus. My mom was strict. You guys, my mom was strict. So let me tell you guys something that happened when I was younger. Out of fear, how I So when I was in secondary school, I went to Nigerian Navy, right? And in my GSS, in I think GS3, we had this exam where if you write the exam and you make like 6 credits, they'll push you to senior secondary school. But then if you have less than 6 credits, you have to repeat the class. Now I don't know what happened within that period. I wrote the exam. Turns out that I had less than 6 credits. And so when the results came out, and I think in GS3 in my school, we were on low court. So the whole idea was when we get to SS1, you start making your hair. No? Was it like that? No, actually. Okay, no. So when I got into Nigerian Navy, we were on low court. I think we started making our hair at some point. Maybe like in GS2 or GS, we started making our hair. So I was making my hair already. My hair was plaited, okay? And so the rules now changed. So it now became a case where they said all junior students will not be on hair, and then all younger all older students will now make their hair. So when the results came out and I was told I had less than 6 credits, I was told I was supposed to repeat GSS3. I was so scared, you guys. My mom came to collect my results. She got to the staff room, they gave her my results, and then it was time for us to go home. I had to go home with her. The fear, my dad wasn't around then. The fear, you guys, made me pull on myself literally in the car. So when we had almost got to, because I was just like, what am I going to face at home? Like, is she going to flog me? I was so scared, and I pulled on myself. Like, I got down from the car and we were living on like the first floor, so I had to drag myself upstairs. And God, at the end of the day, did my mom flog me? I'm not even sure, but I think she was very hostile during that period. And what was even crazy was that I now had to cut my hair because I thought I was going to repeat. Only for me to cut my hair, we resumed school, and then the teachers are telling us that there was a mix-up in the results, and then a lot of us that they said were repeating were not repeating. At this point, we had cut our hair. We had already surrendered to the fact that our juniors were now going to be mates with us. So we now got back to school, and then we're told that we're not repeating. It was such a mess. mess, like a complete mess. So imagine you after managing to grow your hair, you now cut the hair. You are now being told that you have been promoted to senior class. So it was difficult. It was a tough time for me. My mom has calmed down too. She was strict with us, but now my kids is so soft. Yeah. You are lucky, oh Joy. You're very lucky. Your mom has always been soft. Wow. Complete opposite for a lot of us. Complete opposite. I'm here for the questions though. Thank you for asking because the energy from the other lives to this one. I don't know because my life failed and this is the third life. The thing they scatter my head. I don't even know if I'll save this one because the life is kind of annoying. Anyway, um, tell us a story of your proudest moment so far relating to anything. Hmm. Proudest moment so far. Man, can I really pinpoint? Can I think of one thing? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can think of anything. Proudest moment. I can't think of anything in particular. In particular. I can't think of anything in particular. I think that at different times in my life, there have just been things I've done. I'm just like, oh, happy about this, proud about this, even like the littlest things. So can't really pinpoint one thing that I would say is my proudest moment. Um, I think that a lot of African mothers maybe they did that to maybe I think maybe it was fear of what their children will become, and they just felt that the best way to go about raising them would be to be strict and to flog and all of that. But I mean, look at us now. We understand that that's not the way to go about things. There are more civil ways, to go about raising your children without being extremely strict and just yeah. No other question, right? I think it's time for us to end this live because there are no questions. There's breathing space in this live. The last live there was no breathing space. People were coming in hot. And Sisi has asked the most question. It was say they give dollar now. If we don't give Sisi any dollar, one of them. Mm, how was it marrying a man from a different tribe in a country like Nigeria? I was born and raised in America and I still see the tribalism. So I can only imagine living in Nigeria. I mean, it was difficult. Like I mentioned this before in one of my last live or so. How my dad was like, "No way! Like what? Someone from Cross River? How? Why? Like you went to school in the east, you not see husband to marry in Anambra states. Abia people are there, the other eastern states, and then you decided to now get married to someone. When you don't tell Igbo people, they'll say, all the you go far, oh. I don't understand whether na leg with the use go there. They'll say, you went very far, oh, my sister. Cross river, long, long. So, I mean, my dad was against it because I don't know about I don't know about extended family. I don't know how they took it. I don't know how they received the news. But with my dad, it was difficult. How do I give my kids sex education? I talked about it before. Are you just call me in peace? Talked about it before. Thank you, Olatunji. Chinyere and CCME collaboration coming soon. Since when are we collaborating? Actually, myself and Sisi, we stay in two opposite ends of Lagos. I believe so. We are so far apart. So far apart. But since you are redoing your kitchen, who knows? Maybe I will come and eat your food one day. Tasting CCME's food. Thank you, Sisi, in your grown up voice. Thank you. Yeah, please, please, maybe you replay it. Okay, I'll save it now because I didn't want to save the live, but I'll save it. Yeah. It's been an annoying life. It's just been annoying. Things were working against me. Okay, so this is someone that is Igbo from Anambra State, married to a Yoruba man. Joy, how was it telling your parents that you were getting married to a Yoruba man? Like extended family, how was it? Because I feel like Yoruba is far, far, far. Because Cross River, a lot of them will tell me that okay, what is separating us is Ebonyi State. Because after Anambra, there's Enugu, so they're like, okay, Enugu is still east, then there's Ebonyi State before Cross River. So you now getting married to someone from the west, how did that work? How did that work? Um, One question before you go, about YouTube. On my subscription feed, I'm always seeing channels I'm not subscribed to. I don't know if that's how it is with everyone's channel or account. Not for me. Are you sure you're not subscribed to them? And is that your subscription feed? Are you sure you're subscribed to them? Yeah, but yeah, DM vlogs. Do they suggest channels on your subscription feed? No. I know on your home feed they will suggest channels that you might want to watch. And I said, where are the girls? The girls are in the living room. They're in the living room. They are playing. I've given everybody warning, plus their daddy, plus all of them together. Okay, there's a setting. Okay, so Gladys, DM vlog said there's a setting where you can choose that you're not interested. Yes, only on your home feed. But she said her subscription feed. She said her subscription feed. Are there any YouTubers you'd like to collaborate with? There are a lot of YouTubers I would like to collaborate with. The thing is, do we have the chance to do the collaboration? Would Chinyere leave her house? Yes, Chinyere has decided to start leaving her house. Please let me say it now. Um, I would like to. I mean, to see me, have we done a collaboration? No, we haven't per se. I think I just met up with her one day, so it wasn't a collaboration per se. But I'd like to do something with CME. Um, I'm doing something with Nello tomorrow. I don't even think we know what we're doing, but we're hooking up tomorrow. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? A couple of people. There are a lot of people like. Yeah, who is that? Who is that? Okay, I'm coming. Okay. We have it wasn't a collaboration per se. It was just we just saw each other. So we just saw each other. You guys hold on. If you no spoil my life, you no go rest, sha. Eh? As I dey gone. It's not allowed to go when you step out. Okay, you guys, I think what do you guys think? Do you think we should end this vlog? Why do you call Victoria? Eh? Why they worry you? Why they do like this? This man is not okay. Eh? Where are you going to? Where are you going to? I'm live in case you don't know. So anything where you talk, everybody they hear you. Where are you going to? You're coming back now, Abi. Oh, yeah, come back now. Why do you call Victoria Asa? I actually only got to know her name in this live. Really? I think Asa just stuck. I think if you have children, sometimes you just like I don't know. How did we start calling Victoria Asa? You just start, I don't know, you just start playing with them, or the same way we call Ella LG or we call Ella Blue. I don't know, the names just come up and then they just stick. I don't know how to explain it. They just, yeah. The names just come up and they just stick. Asa means beautiful. So it's an Igbo word for beautiful, like Asanwa, beautiful child. So I just probably called her Asa maybe when she was a baby, and then I just started calling her Asa. What's the one thing you are proud of about being Nigerian? Eh? And if you were to relocate to any African country, even this your question, say the question ask a leg. What is the peace? Here is how you have allowed all your children to enter this room now. What's the one thing I'm proud of about being a Nigerian? I think please tell Ade not to go yet. I want to see her before she goes. Yeah, you want to see the kids? No, please don't see them. They'll come and scatter all my connection, all my wires. Um, one thing I'm proud of about being a Nigerian, I think we are very, what's that word? Resilient. Yes, that's the one thing I think. That's why, because a lot of times you find that Nigerians are succeeding in other countries, like succeeding. And when I mean succeed, I mean thriving. It's just crazy how we are like bottom and we are like top. You when you find Nigerians, when you see Nigerians in the news, they're either doing so well or it's for something so bad. I don't know why. We're either bad, as in say person go thief something, this one kill the mother, or you see us like top of, career wise and all of that. And it made me really proud that when I watch a lot of movies. So whenever the cast is like, whenever they are showing the cast, I'm always looking out for a Nigerian name. And most times I would always say a Nigerian name. I think, what movie did I watch recently? Can't remember. But the cast was going, I saw a Nigerian. I was like, anytime it's something I'm so used to now, because Nigerians are very strong and very brilliant people. So do you have, yeah, I have Igbo names for the children. We have Igbo names for them. Three of them. My parents gave three of them Igbo names. Any plans of visiting other African countries? I want to go to Kenya. I want to go to Kenya so badly. And if there's any someone asks if there's an African country that I would like to live in, what country would that be? That would have to be South Africa. If I could live in an African country, it has to be South Africa. But if I could visit an African country, definitely South Africa, Kenya, a lot of other African countries. I'm open. Ghana, yeah, a lot of African countries I would like to go. I've not gone anywhere, so I not get sure, but I have transports. I won't mind, exploring any other African country. Yes, why that bad, or we are good. Mauritius. You mean Mauritius to live? To live? No, I don't think. No, not to live. I wouldn't want to live in Mauritius. I would love to live in South Africa. Visit Mauritius, yes, but live. I'm not sure. I've not heard about what living in Mauritius is like. If you're not from there, I've not heard of anything. So I won't say that I would like to live in Mauritius. Somebody have any other questions so we can just end this live, because we've been here for 1 hour 30 minutes. Considering how annoying this live started, I didn't think we would have been here for this. I mean, I don't think we would have been here for this long. English is hard. I didn't think we would have been here for this long. Grace is fine. She's fine. They were making their hair a couple of minutes ago. I think they are almost done. Thank you. Thank you. Like I said before, I rubbed small oil before I came on this live, just so that I can glow. Thank you guys so much. Yes, and Nigerians are very humorous people. We always find way to laugh. No matter what's going on, we must still laugh, Sha. God help us. Joy said, how do you handle issues in marriage? Um, I mean, the way I handle issues, the way I handle issues in marriage now is different from how I used to handle them. Um, Way back, we used to have issues, and it would either become like from maybe silent treatment to just throwing out harsh words. But now it's like, I don't know what it is. Maybe we've just become a lot more matured in this whole marriage thing. I don't take things too seriously, because I mean, a lot of the issues that we have are not serious things. They're just very minor things that would make you argue and just quarrel stupidly and unnecessarily. So most times, because I like my peace, I really like my peace. I don't want to have to walk into the room with someone that's supposed to be my husband, and I'll carry my nose up to the sky, or if I want to lie down, I'll try and make sure that my body doesn't touch you. That kind of thing. So I've always, recently I just really like my peace, and I think he's trying to learn from me, because I see him do those things. So when we have like arguments, I'm just like, what, let's squash this beef and let's figure out what went wrong. Like, why did we quarrel about this? Why did you say this? Why did you do this? And we sort out the issues without it getting heated. I don't know how to explain. I just think marriage is so unique to everybody, and at the end of the day, you have to really sit down and apply wisdom, as in wisdom to your own situation, because the wisdom that works for that person might not work for you, because the both of you are different personalities from the other couple that you know. So at the end of the day, marriage really, it's like mass. It's like you have to add this and this. How does this and this come together to give us this based on this person and this person? So at the end of the day, you really need to like sit down and just think of how it will work for the two of you, how you can tailor, solutions in a way that it would work for the both of you. So with us, we are, we've kind of, we're trying, definitely way better than, years ago. What extension did you use for your hair? I used darling, what's in there they call them, darling passion twists, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Darling passion twist. I don't like the hair. I don't know if it was the lady that made it, or passion twist is just not my vibe. I don't know really. Unique choice. You came late. Oh, sorry. Nigerians are hardworking, yes. I mean, I think we're hardworking because in Nigeria you don't have a choice. It's either you're hardworking or you're a thief. Like, if I want to even be a thief self, it's even hard work. So nothing is going to fall on your lap. You're not going to have, there are no benefits. There's nothing. So nothing is going to come free. There's nothing like, oh, because you are a citizen of UAR, you are entitled to 5,000 naira per week, or there's nothing like that. There's nothing like, oh, free healthcare. You have to work for every damn thing, you know. So we really don't have a choice, and that's why I think that a lot of Nigerians thrive. Many Nigerians thrive when they leave this country. Love you and be family. Thank you so much. I love how natural and candid you are. I can sit and watch and listen to you for hours. Thank you. Maybe I should start a podcast. It's been a learning process. UAR is a new name they gave our country. I didn't even know the root of that UAR. I sure know woke up one day and everybody was writing Uarians, Uarians, Uarians. What reason is in, maybe I guess you're trying to say what reason is enough to justify living in marriage? Man, I know that um I know that the Bible said that it should be death or adultery. But I mean, and I think I saw a comment. I don't know if it's from the same person, but someone mentioned, said, would you advise someone to leave their marriage because their partners cheated? I mean, the advice is not supposed to come from any other person but yourself, as in you that was the victim in that marriage or that relationship. Because how do I sit down in my house and advise you to leave man that cheated on you? How do I know that you want to leave the man? How do I know that cheating is enough for you to decide to leave someone? And I can give you that advice and say, oh, leave that man, and then when it becomes my turn, I will not leave the man. So at the end of the day, it is your decision. It is your decision. It's really how you feel about that marriage. I know people talk about deal breakers, but like I've always said, it's easy for you to go into a marriage and say that, oh, infidelity is a deal breaker for me. But then when the person actually does that, events can take a huge turn. Anything can happen. The person can be sorry. The person might give you enough reason for you to see why they are sorry and they're sober and that it will never happen again. And you might decide to give it another go, and that's totally fine. That's your decision. So someone can come and then fault you for doing that or judge you for doing that. So I can't really say. I would say that it really depends on you. Some people are hit just once. Like they just need to hit them once and then they're out of that marriage. Some people can stay for as long, two, three, four, five times. Some people will die in it. But I'm just saying that at the end of the day, it really depends on how you feel, about that marriage. Are your values still being upheld? Are you there because you're trying to save face, or are you really happy in that marriage? Are you really happy where you are? So I can't really say that there's any reason, to justify living in marriage. Yeah, that's what he said. What reason is it to justify living in marriage? You can live for whatever reason. In my own opinion, you can live for whatever reason, especially when if it's a case where you and the partner have tried to sort things out, and because sometimes you're trying to sort things out with someone, the person is not giving as much of themselves as you are giving into the issue solving, and it's just like, why are you trying so hard? Because I know that there are cases where marriages are going sour, and then you see one partner is trying so hard to try to patch things up, and the other person is not bringing the same energy. So in a case like that, what do you do? So it could be anything. There's really nothing you can pinpoint and say, oh, this is enough reason for you to leave your marriage. It's a personal decision. Thank you, Alexine. Unique Choice says the child benefit that's the most painful. Yeah, we need child benefits. So we do. Any star say I look calm and gentle. You think I'm not calm and I'm not gentle? No. Do you expect me to be dancing here like a person right now? No, but I'm not calm and I'm not gentle. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think I should just end this live here. It's almost 8 o'clock, and I'm sure some people that are watching me, those of us that are in this part of the world, want to go and make dinner. It's almost 8 p.m. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this live. I really appreciate it. To everybody that dropped money from me on super chat, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, I just want you to tell me bye bye before I go, before I end the stream, so that you know it's not rude. I don't just cut it off. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thank you, Gladys. Thank you, Sissy. Thank you to everybody that contributed questions and all of that. And to you guys that stayed with me when my mic was messing up and still came back when I came back live. Thank you again and again and again. All right. Yeah, bye. Love you guys. People should watch my video. I have a video that'll come up tomorrow. Um, it's a it's a it's a touchy video. Let's put it that way. It's a very touchy video. It's an emotional video. Because I mean, I used to be shy about like showing emotions, but right now it's like it's nothing to me, because I know that when people do stuff like that, it speaks to me, and it ministers to me in some way. So my mom is still here, so watch my vlog that's coming up tomorrow evening. I was a bit emotional in that video, so yeah. Love you, mommy. Bye.